Hello and welcome to Flooring Models. Today I'm joined by Mr. Matt.
Hello.
All the way from the People's Republic of Yorkshire.
Yes.
Or South Yorkshire.
South Yorkshire.
So what we thought we'd do is do a little bit of work on bases. Now, as you know, I know nothing about bases apart from some very simplistic type ones I've done. I've never done terrain. I've never done boxy sides and using this foam and all the rest of it. So you're going to teach me.
I would say that's two of us then.
Yeah. So it's the blind leading the blind.
Yes.
So there will be a lot of editing in this as we go through. So the whole point of it is what we're going to try and do is a nice little frame for said Tempest that we finished recently.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a flat one with this one using static grass, is it?
Static grass.
Static grass.
Some clay, air dry clay as a base,
clay.
and then we've got some of the compounds, the modelling compounds for the soil.
Yeah.
We might make a little fence with the chopper.
Yes.
Which we'll show you
We've
later.
got the chopper here.
If we get time, we've got a bit of figures. These ICM figures, which have got some nice parts in them that we can use.
With the red setter.
With the dog. I
Yes.
think there's some like trestle tables and tools for the maintenance, which will be pretty cool. This is going to be maintenance, obviously. The cowlings are off it. So, yes, we've obviously got to do the composition and all the planning and stuff. But yeah, we'll just show you the basics.
Composition
is the
key.
Is the key to this.
Our vertical elements and angles and stuff.
Yeah, I do think about ordering a tree. But then why would there be a tree
in the middle of an airfield?
In the middle of an airfield, you know. We could build a windsock.
Yes, you can have a windsock. That'd be quite good. You can have a little windsock. Should have thought of that. Or a flag.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's a bit more difficult, I think, with aircraft because of the nature. Unless you're doing a crashed one, obviously a maintenance one. But this is going to be pretty basic scene. But yeah, we'll get you. We'll get somewhere anyway. It's good. It's one of them like mine. It will just evolve as we're doing it. Thinking, we'll do that, or we'll try this.
Artistry. None of this we've planned it.
You're supposed to. I think
we've got a storyboard and done for this.
That don't ever work like that for me because it always veers off in a completely different direction. But yeah.
So key parts. What we've got down here is a cheapo photo frame, and this has got a nice little edged. It's like got a. You can see in here. I know it's not good with the C, but you can see it's got a proper edge on this. So is that. So the photo frame itself is going to just be like this. We've just taken the back off. We've had the glass out. And then what we've done is we've got the foam, which is called XPS foam.
XPS foam, that's the good stuff. It's really dense and easy to carve.
Yeah.
And solid.
Solid. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this one I got literally off of Amazon. And it came as 4. So it was 4 of these and all the rest of it. So that was it. It wasn't massively expensive.
No, I bought the same stuff. I used the same and it's really good. Because you can buy massive sheets of it because obviously insulation foam. But you don't really need, unless you're doing a lot of dioramas or planning on a lot of bases.
Yeah. And also they come in different thicknesses. So I can't remember what this one was now. This is 40 mil? Yeah, 40 mil thick, but they do a big 50 mil, do an 80 mil, they do all different. And then obviously the thinner ones as well. So you can get the size you actually need. So first of all, what we need to do is obviously carefully measure, as we did, the inside of this.
Dumb and Dumber.
So we knew what size it was. And then I just thought, well, can't we just put that on there and draw around it?
Yeah.
Seeing as this came out of here.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh, actually, look. Oh.
Have we failed already?
We failed already. Because this is smaller.
Wouldn't the glass have been better?
No, because the glass was on the inside as well.
Oh, it was. Really?
So it's difference between this side, which is the back side, and obviously you want the front side. So what we're going to have to do is remeasure. Do you know what? It's a good job you lot are all here. Otherwise, I would have just cut that and we would have put it in and gone, what's wrong?
It fell through the middle.
Right, we will try this again. Right, and the power of editing, you'll join us at this. Okay, so this is now 60, I would say 60, so it's 100 and it's 26.5. Okay, so what we've done, we've measured the inside carefully, diameters, to work out exactly how it is.
Yes, because our first plan failed dismally.
Because that was plan A, plan B, right? So what we've done is, carefully, I'll put my tape measure here. We've just got to measure this again. So on the shortest excess, if we use this side, we're looking for 20, something or other, wasn't it? We have it. So I'll put me just 26.5. So we want 26.5. Stood in yellow there. And we want another 26.5 up here somewhere. 26.5. there.
And the length
And then with a length of 31.5. 31. Yeah.
Hold on, let's get on it.
On the line,
Give or take, yeah.
31.5 will be about here.
Get a straight tape measure.
Don't worry about that, it's fine. It's good for getting around corners. Right, 31.5 takes us there. Yeah? Okay?
Yeah.
Then using our straight edge, I haven't got one, we'll join up the dots. Hopefully, very carefully, in exactly the right position.
Precision engineering this.
It is, absolutely. Well, I say, the nice thing with working with this is you can
manipulate it.
You
can do. Okay.
Okay.
Right, lovely.
Leaving you with the perfect. You just put a cross so we know. Otherwise, we'll cut that one out.
Yeah, get the wrong way around again.
So there we go. So that's in there now, giving us our size. So this lump will go in there.
It will. So just put that back on there. So what we will do is.
Okay. What you need on this way?
Yeah, I just want the foam, to be honest. That was all. Just to see the size and where we're going to go.
The composition.
So we've got. Obviously, we're going on angles. We're not doing square or whatever. Plan is always so you can stick it back there and we can have. I reckon. Actually, do you know what? We could do that there. Make that little fence one in there, so we could have, the table or whatever, the trestle table. People walking a path.
Yes.
I don't know. We're going to have a look at some photos, but we're just going to get a reference. So I reckon that'll cut that off there, and then we'll have the guys and the dog or whatever, and then we'll figure that out. But I think that's going to be the general layout anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
So if you're looking where you're looking, so everything will be, that should work. I mean, you can throw it whichever way you want, really. It don't really matter whichever corner you put it in, but it's not making any difference, is it? Swings and roundabouts that. So yeah, I reckon if we put that there, then like I say, we'll cut that off. Yeah, right. Next job. Let's get that.
So what we do now, we'll get up the cutter and get that sorted.
Right. So we've got all the angles of the dangles.
Yes.
So obviously it's going to go in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that way. Hence why it's right-handed and not left-handed. So you can just line that up. Obviously make it square to wherever you want it to be and then just plane it off.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay, so...
I could do with, but you got any bits of anything, bit of polystyrene, something? I just want to make sure it's working before we commit to actually doing the proper.
Do you know, I've had a mass clear out because you're coming.
Oh.
So, unless you just want to use one of those other smaller ones for a minute, a bit off of that or something. Right, so move this down a little bit.
Just set it, yeah. Run through what it is. A Proxon Thermocut.
Right.
There is others available. To be honest with you, you can get bigger ones that are higher. Because the problem I've had is, when you've got thick, say polystyrene, you can't cut it down easily. Yeah. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? If you line that up.
It's not too far down, Jesus. No, not.
You there?
Not quite. Hold on. So that's needs to go just another little bit in. That looks good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Ready
You
for
can
this?
put your overhead on.
Overhead on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not pushing very hard.
No, just let the wire do the work. Is it up? Switched on?
No.
Switch it on. Right, let it warm up a minute.
Does the light go out when it's heated or something?
No, the light's just on because it's on. Yeah, that should be plenty. So just test it. That's the other problem with it. You've got to keep hold of that to kind of keep it because it flexes.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. That's it. So if you...
Hold on.
Keep
that's, it's a bit...
Yeah.
wibbly.
You just follow the line.
Yeah, but it seems to...
Yeah, you're right. You're okay. Yeah, you are moving. You're all over. You don't know how square that is, you see. That's the other thing. It'll be fine because we're going to board it anyway. So.
It's like a satellite delay on the cable, isn't it? You move it slightly and then
Yeah.
it's like a wave effect.
Yeah. Go a bit quicker. Might be easier. That's it. It's in the way. Alright. There we go.
Keep going.
Yeah, just cut that in there. It's no good anyway. Just use it as an off cut. I use them for, cut them down, put bits in them to paint.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
Oh, yeah. They
do.
Right.
So I don't think that wire's tension brilliant. That's better. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good speed.
The second time I've ever used it on a pro now, but
Look at that. You'll be wanting one.
this is it now.
Put in foam. There you go. Perfect.
Nice.
Absolutely perfect.
So there we have.
Let's hope it fits.
Of course it'll fit. By the power of editing, I'll tell you it will fit.
Yeah. No, do you
Oh,
want to
well,
unplug it?
let's unplug it.
Yeah. Just shove that out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Don't fit.
Is your measurements off?
No. Just needs a little bit of fettling, I think.
Does it need a bit of trimming?
Bit of fettling. That's all it is.
We need the props on that so we can take a slither off it. Is it?
It's not that far.
No, it's not.
It's,
Oh, there you go. That's gone in.
I think it just needs
I think it just needs
a sliver.
Right. Get it back. Go on then. Excellent. Look at that.
Look at that for a wispy bit. Right. Like a glove.
There you go.
There's then.
How cool is that?
It is, isn't it? Look at that.
Brilliant. So, right. So, we've got a bit of height.
Yes.
Which is always a...
Essential part.
I think it is for a bass. I think it does just get a bit more of a dramatic feel rather than it just being on a flat.
Yeah.
You know. So, next thing you need to do is do a bit more measuring and then we can laminate that.
Mm-hmm.
Cut that down to size.
Yes.
And then we'll double side that on. We'll cheat.
So this is just balsa.
Balsa, straight from Hobbycraft.
This is Hobbycraft's finest.
Yeah.
So yes.
Well,
330 basswood, yes. Isn't that a fish?
Yeah.
Okay. So right.
So you're going to be fancying just do what I do. And just plug it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. It'll just be this. Can we get how many edges? That's the one. Goes like that. That'll be one plank.
Yeah. I should mirror because it should be two, shouldn't it? You get two out of that. You get two out of that.
So we get two out of that. Not quite.
No.
So it have to be that and an end.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll mirror it up. Hopefully we just that on the edge. That there. Quite handy having another pair of hands. Right. Piece of cake. I think we're using the top line.
Well, best thing to do is actually leave a bit on it anyway, because once you've put your layers on of what thing, you cut it to shape. So there's two ways of doing it. We can either put the groundwork on now, let that dry, and then plank it and cut it, and then do all the other bits, or which would probably be easier, I'm thinking, because you don't know how much height's going to be on here. But but you get the gist anyway. So
yes.
So right, composition next. Then let's figure out how we're doing this and what we're doing before we start sticking some groundwork on. So I take it that's going to be the front.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we go, I think that's pretty. Yeah.
Fence.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's exactly what I was going to use.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want height, you see in corners. You know, you want something built up. But, you know, it could be concrete.
Yeah, a berm or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. You could do that. It's not hard to make concrete. So I think what best thing to do is if we whip off and find some pictures.
Yes.
And some ideas. So and we'll come back and we can say, right, we've got a plan of attack.
Yeah, that's it, because we know exactly what we're doing.
So we always.
Right, back in a minute. Right, okay, so what you can actually see here is
some planning.
version 2. So what we've actually done is, I just showed the guys a picture. We found this.
Which we know is a Typhoon.
It's a different version, but what it is, this is, as it says down the bottom, it's undergoing servicing and a blast walled dispersal point. So it's obviously got an earth berm behind it and then obviously a brick one in front. So what we're thinking is, in our infinite wisdom, is having that effect. Originally, we're going to go with a fence, but to be honest, we've seen lots of it, and it seems to be berms are absolutely everywhere. So what we're thinking is that this might be a better way of actually doing it, to give it also be a bit more height to it as well.
A bit more, yeah.
You could put a fence on top of the berm.
You could, or a telegraph pole or whatever. I don't know. You just so yeah, we just made a template. Obviously, a bit of an offcut. So what we'll do is draw it into this foam.
You press number 2 on that.
Number 2.
There you go.
There you go. So what we're going to use, obviously, use this offcut. We'll just move the tempest out of the way. So that's going to sit there. Okay, and it's not far off the obviously the right width.
Yeah.
We're going to use this shape. Get back onto the cutter, cut this part out, which shouldn't be too bad. Well, actually, I've got the other Y cutter, so that might be easier actually with the
curve.
And then we're obviously going to trim this down with the height to slope it.
Yes.
So we can always draw that in after. We'll just figure that out and just shave bits off and we'll go from there really. And then obviously we'll just plank it as is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, all looks good.
It does look good. Yeah.
So
let me just draw the shape of our template here.
Let's stick this over here.
So if we don't like it, we can always just adjust it to what we're cutting. So. Yeah, that'll do. Then a bit rough in it. So, where did I put the other cutter rubber? Switch on. This takes a little bit of warming up. So what I've got here is another hot wire cutter. This is an Amazon special. You do actually get a little stand as well, you know, so you don't burn everything.
Yeah,
they're not overly expensive. You can get different ends. You can get spear ends, and they're really good. It's just obviously for making, obviously, like with the other cutter.
Yeah, big square boxes. It's like
somewhere,
and it keeps it flat.
Yeah.
So I get
this is like if you want shapes and stuff, it's brilliant for that. So what you're basically going to do is let the wire do the work. Just about reached its limit.
Yeah, because you'll be going further.
I never thought, yeah. If you can see that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm only roughly following the line. It's just a guide, you know. We can alter that after it's done. This is the joy using XPS. So put that on there. There you go. that's going to sit in there, and then what you can do is we'll do a bit, because you can do it a bit at a time.
Well, you say it just bulldozed up, wouldn't it? So.
You can just trim
bits
off it.
Nice.
That's what we will do, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you wanted, you could even cut the middle out, I suppose, if it looks a bit odd, and just...
Yeah. Give it a bit of a curve on the top.
Whatever, yeah. Yeah, you could take all that down, but yeah, so... How deep these ones? We're going to cover it anyway. This is just to get some rough sort of shapes, just to get us to the next stage, really. It is higher as deep, so yeah.
Very nice.
Want to blast? Want to play?
You get play.
Yeah, you can. You know you'll be buying yourself one.
Well, yes, that's it. If I just take a little corner
yeah,
out,
I'd say just try not to put too much pressure on the wires, because they just tend to. They can snap. And then go on your spears.
Oh, no pressure.
I have got some burn on me, so yeah, hopefully this one will last. Nearly on cam, do you want to move over a bit?
Sorry. There's something very deeply satisfying about this.
There is. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
And you can take a bit of height off it as well if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you want to stick it on the end, whichever end you want. And then if we get the... Okay, it's always good to just keep bringing your subject matter back and just testing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just trim these corners a bit and make it a bit more. But yeah, I think that's going to look pretty cool, actually.
No, I agree. Very cool.
Yeah, grass and
that's it. Static-y grass,
soil and stuff.
So,
yeah,
nice.
Very nice. Okay, so we're going to carry on playing and just trimming this down till we're happy, and then so we'll get that locked down with a bit of white glue. I think we'll push that on, let that dry, stake it in, pin it, and then we can come back and start getting some of the
textures onto it.
Yeah, the initial groundwork, shall we say? Brill, right?
Cool, very good. Right.
So next step is to obviously get this locked down onto this base. So we're going to use a bit of Mod Podge, Matt. I need white glue.
I was going to say, so basically Mod Podge is a slightly upgraded PVA glue.
Yeah.
And obviously the yellow one, as we found out today when we were shopping, that didn't happen the first time you did this.
I didn't, yeah, I'm making a mess here. Sorry, I'm making a mess.
But they do, the red one is gloss, so it dries shiny, and the yellow one here is the matte finish. So obviously it dries flat.
Yeah. What we'll do is be generous with our, what is this I'm using?
It's a tongue depressor.
A tongue depressor. Again, you could hot glue this. If you want a quick way, we could have hot glued it as well. There we go, yeah. They sell them on Amazon.
Yeah.
All the corners. But you get foam safe super glue as well. That works good.
And that's the thing. So you can't just use normal glues on foam, otherwise it melts it.
It does melt.
So that's why we use things like PVA glue and Mod Podge and stuff like that. Because if it's solvent based, you will. You'll hear it fizzing.
There you go.
Cheers.
My glamorous assistant.
No problem. Don't put it on your tongue, kids, once you've done it.
Let's see if we can get this lined up. Somewhere about there, do you?
Yeah, that's good.
It says I just moved it. It's anything we can just trim or sand. You can sand this. It's a bit messy and it's not great, but you can. Definitely we're in a respirator, but you can. I say you can shape it. So I think what we'll do is stick this outside in the baking sun. And let it dry. Look at that.
Does it? Good, isn't it?
put your bulldozer in that. Never mind.
I was going to say he's just bulldozed it. I know.
But you see what I mean with levels?
Yes.
You know what I was on about with. I think any base, if you can add levels to it, it makes it far more interesting to look at for a start.
Yeah.
And like I say, it just adds a bit of dynamic. I don't even know the word. Dynamics to it.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing I'm learning from all of this is obviously every time I've done a diorama, it's been flat.
Yeah.
There's no height differences. There's no terrain or anything else like that. And I think that's the thing that makes it come alive.
I think that's, the classical, I suppose, armour diorama, we can use this, is, say if you've got a vehicle, whatever it is here, you've got a high side there and then they drop this.
Yeah.
So you've got sort of that shape.
Yeah.
And that's a really sort of, the really classical way of doing it. But, when you start sort of looking at stuff, I mean, you can use buildings for height, like I've used telegraph poles, trees, vertical elements, whatever. I mean, like I said, we could put something on that. Not that there would probably be a telegraph pole sticking out of it, but you've got to kind of use your imagination because then that's an extra level as well. But yeah, like I say, with walls or rock formations, there's loads of of things when you start looking you could use, but it just has a bit of interest. And I think that's a problem before with sort of aircraft. They all tend to be on flat surfaces because of what they are.
Yeah, that's it. The airfields. Flat.
I mean, we found a fantastic one in a bombed out sort of old airfield in Germany, haven't we?
If you scroll, we can show mine be playing.
I'm going to move that because I know what's going to happen in it. Hey,
stick your forearm on it.
Stick my forearm on the
fan.
On the fan, yeah. It's just health and safety here.
So what it is, we're on the actual Imperial War Museums.
Yeah, because you can.
You can hold the stick.
Thanks.
Because I'll stick it to something else.
Yeah. I'll put on my lap in a minute. Lovely.
So what we got is, obviously we've got this one down in here, and then is it back up here, wouldn't it? We've got some great reference shots. Obviously, it's a bit of everything. It's Navy as well.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic. This is it. So this one here. Oh God, go away. Sorry, I thought I was getting rid of it, but I can't. As you can see, it's got a bombed out. Apparently, this one is in Germany because we've got another picture of one here, which has got obviously would have had a certain cross on it. I reckon.
Well, it looks that way unless it's something, but yeah. Obviously,
But again,
bombed out hanger or something.
It's a bombed out, obviously clear hanger in there, and as I say, it's been worked on. You got the cowlings on the wings, all the bits and pieces. Obviously, it's a frontline unit. Yeah. But it's obviously another one around here. But
that's another thing to look at is like the jerry can and the oil drum behind that's propped up, and it all adds rather than like a mowed lawn with a plane sitting on it.
And that's how we traditionally think about it. And that's the thing, that's the difference. But when we saw this picture, we were like, wow, look, it's obviously got a bombed out hanger in the back.
You've obviously got something vertical, which would have been probably a telegraph pole or some sort of structure. And there's loads you could take from that. That again, it would be a backdrop. Just use that as the backdrop and obviously put, the main subject matter in the front. So, no camo netting. Obviously, chuck your camo netting over that or whatever. I don't know what that is in the background. I'm trying to work the bridgey type thing.
I don't know if it's up and fallen over or
you can't zoom in on that. You'd have to save it, can't you? And then I don't know. Yeah, I'm just thinking it's something gone over or part of a hanger that's left.
So
could be the concrete thing actually. The front of
the hanger itself.
The hanger itself, I think. I'm just looking in the back. I know it's a long way away, but if you look in the background, the poles sticking up.
Yeah, and got poles over there, telegraph poles.
That's why it's always good, I think, now, which I keep going on about it, is just getting reference pictures. It's just Googling, stuff, and you just pick little things and go, oh, we can use that, or you can use that, and it don't know.
Yeah. So for that, all I did was put in RAF Tempest.
Yeah.
World War II. Don't put the normal because you end up with a 6th gen one. But it's like, and you find on image search that takes you another.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we found obviously it brought us over to the Imperial War Museum, and it was absolutely fantastic.
And to be honest with you, you could, if use that as a base and have that as a bomb out building. So just cover that with whatever you know, and then put loads of bricks, loads of wood, and you could same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Very good. Right, so we're going to let that dry.
Yep.
And then next up's what?
We're going to get some groundwork on it, which is going to be the clay.
Yes.
We're going to use air dry clay. But you've got to, we'll go through this, but you're just going to, because you can obviously use modelling compounds that they do,
Yeah.
which is the paper mache stuff with plaster in it,
Mm-hmm.
which is another good one. It's really lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got none here. I didn't bring any, to be honest, but there's a few of them which we could probably show. Obviously, air dry clay is a traditional one, but the thing is with that is to put it on really thin.
Yes.
Because it cracks like Billy O.
Yeah.
Just to get, and then after that, we're going to the actual modelling pastes. So like the AK Do stuff. We've bought the other one. I can't think what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's gone.
You're over there.
Where is it? I've got to get it because it's gone.
Yeah.
You know.
I can't remember what they call it.
The modelling terrain stuff.
Yes.
There we go. I'll show you. So that's one of the AK ones. This is just the clear neutral one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and obviously they do the earth one, so you know, and then we've got this one, which is the smart mode. That's the stuff, which is the other modelling sort of compound paste, which is quite a nice thing to use.
Mm-hmm. So how long does Mod Podge take to go off?
Depends how warm it is.
Oh right, okay.
That's what I said. Might stick it for a bake.
Yes.
It shouldn't be too long.
Mm.
It does
Part of
great,
the bite,
and,
yeah.
and obviously with anything, it's how
thick it's on there.
And all that lot. So I think again, we're trying to rattle through this a little bit. There's going to be a limit to what we can do because obviously time constraints and drying times, and that's what it is. It's one of them, you know. Best thing I would have done is done this last thing and just left it overnight.
Yeah.
And again, putting that stuff on, last thing,
right.
Left it.
Do a couple of hours to properly go.
Yeah.
12 hours.
This stuff, to be honest, is really quite quick drying within an hour or so, depending how thick it is on.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you're using the other modelling compounds, like, you know, instead of the air dry clay, because that's going to have to dry as well, because they're water based.
Yeah,
they can take a bit, you know, to use. So yeah. Try and move that. Move that.
It's all right. It'll line up.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Right. Okay. So we'll come back when that's dried, and we'll get that on next.